Strange things happen out on the open road, some so unexpected they stop traffic cold. That's exactly what happened when a police officer suddenly slammed on his brakes and shouted, halting vehicles on a packed highway. The reason why? It would leave people around the world stunned. Officer Joseph Puglia was simply en route to his station, expecting a normal shift, but what unfolded in front of him was something no training could prepare him for. It rattled him so deeply he reacted on instinct. As he cruised down the interstate, something caught his eye, a blur of fur sprinting across the asphalt. Before he could process what was happening, a car clipped the animal and sped off without even tapping the brakes. It was a dog. The poor creature lay motionless in the middle of the highway, completely exposed to oncoming traffic. Without hesitation, Officer Puglia jerked his cruiser into position, blocking the lane and shielding the animal from being hit again. With his dash cam silently recording, Puglia jumped out and rushed toward the injured dog. He dropped to his knees, scanning for movement or breath, anything. The dog was completely still. For a moment, it looked like he was too late. Despite his fast reaction, dread sank in. Then, barely visible, he saw it. A faint rise and fall of the chest. The dog was alive, but barely. Blood stained the pavement around him, and his breathing was shallow. It was hard to tell where he was hurt or how serious it was. There was no time to waste. Leaving him there would have meant certain death. Officer Puglia dashed back to his car and grabbed an emergency blanket. He knew the dog was fragile and couldn't risk causing more harm. Gently, he wrapped the blanket around the pup, creating a makeshift cradle. Then, with the utmost care, he lifted the injured animal into his arms and placed him in the back of the patrol car. That cruiser had seen a lot, but never a passenger treated so delicately. Without missing a beat, Puglia radioed in. He explained the situation to dispatch, desperate to find the nearest veterinary clinic. He wasn't familiar with the area's animal hospitals, and every second counted. Fortunately, the team quickly directed him to Pinellas Animal Hospital. They even called ahead, letting the staff know an emergency was en route. The entire response felt more like a medical trauma run than an animal rescue. All they could do now was hope he'd made it in time. When Puglia pulled into the hospital, staff were already outside waiting. They didn't hesitate. The dog was rushed inside and prepped for emergency surgery. As much as the officer wanted to stay by the pup's side, duty still called. With a heavy heart, he turned around and headed back to his patrol car. Before he left, someone from the clinic asked him one final question. What should they call the dog? He paused. The whole situation had been a close call. Almost a tragedy. That little dog was lucky to be alive at all. No collar, no microchip, just a heartbeat clinging to life in the middle of the highway. After everything, only one name felt right. Lucky. They all hoped it would be a name he could live up to. As Officer Puglia returned to finish his shift, the dog remained on his mind. The moment his shift ended, Puglia headed straight back to the clinic. What he saw when he walked in took his breath away. Lucky was sitting up, his tail started thumping wildly the instant he saw his rescuer. He couldn't believe it. Just hours ago, he hadn't been sure the dog would survive. Now here he was, awake, alert, and already healing. Aside from some scrapes and bruises, Lucky was in surprisingly good shape. It was almost unbelievable. But as heartwarming as the reunion was, there was still one unanswered question. What would become of Lucky now? He couldn't stay in a kennel forever. The dog seemed well fed when he was found, suggesting he had once belonged to someone. The staff hoped they could locate his owners, but things weren't looking good.
Animal Services had taken over, and per policy, Lucky could only be returned to his original family or adopted through the proper channels. It was bittersweet, but everyone agreed it was the safest move. The shelter began spreading Lucky's story on social media, hoping someone would recognize him. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, a family stepped forward. They claimed Lucky was theirs and even produced photos to prove it. According to their story, Lucky had escaped through an open gate after a delivery. When they arrived to retrieve him, Lucky was hesitant, but soon warmed up and began wagging his tail. On the surface, it looked like a happy ending. But one of the shelter workers had a nagging feeling. Something about the reunion didn't seem quite right. She arranged a follow-up home visit, standard procedure to ensure Lucky's well-being, but the family kept putting her off, saying they were too busy. Instead, they flooded their social media account with cheerful pictures of Lucky, exploring parks and lounging in sunny backyards. Every photo seemed picture perfect, maybe too perfect. The worker's gut told her something wasn't adding up, so she decided to investigate. When she showed up at the address the family had listed, the truth became painfully clear. The yard was tiny, nothing like the spacious settings shown on the posts. Then she saw Lucky, chained outside, no shelter, no food, no water. Her heart sank. The family had lied. They had staged everything to make it look like Lucky was living an ideal life. The reality was heartbreaking. They had used Lucky to build a fake online persona, hoping to attract followers and brand deals. They didn't love him, they exploited him. The shelter stepped in immediately, removed Lucky from the property, and launched an investigation. The family was fined, and Lucky was once again without a home. But this time, he wouldn't be alone for long. Throughout the entire ordeal, one person had never stopped thinking about Lucky: Officer Puglia. From the moment he cradled that wounded pup on the highway, a bond had formed. And now, with Lucky back at the shelter, the officer saw his chance to make things right. As he walked through the shelter doors, Lucky caught his sight of him and instantly lit up. He bounded forward, tail wagging like a helicopter. His rescuer had returned. Only this time, he wasn't just visiting. He was taking Lucky home for good. Officer Puglia officially adopted Lucky, giving him the forever home he had always deserved. Thank you for watching this incredible journey. If Lucky's story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. You never know how one act of kindness can change a life, sometimes even save it. Until next time, take care, and remember, heroes come in all forms, even in uniform.